Yeah, you're
Yeah,
totally.
am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah, so I'm Harish. I work as a cloud engineer in InfraStack-Labs. As a brief introduction of our company, InfraStack-Labs is a cloud managed services company. We provide DevOps and SRE as a service to our clients. So anything related to cloud, SRE, we provide the whole spectrum. So in this, so what we are trying to do here, we are conducting a webinar and part of the series. And as part of the series, I'm conducting a webinar for introduction to AWS services. So I'll start now. So my agenda. So on my agenda, first let me describe what is cloud computing. So like as you would know, like for example, we have electricity. So electricity we consume as much as we consume, and we are paid for that only. So for example, for on kind of no on kind of the same note, we use cloud computing on that analogy only. So whatever computing power, whatever resources that we use on the cloud computing, the services provided by like AWS, GCP, and all, we pay for that only. So you can consider like that is a good analogy for cloud computing, I think, for starters. So in that you can see like why cloud computing was started, like what is the main benefit of cloud computing. So first main benefit is no capital expenditure. For example, if you want to do start a startup and want like 100 GPUs and for like use computing power for your algorithms and all, there's no capital expenditure. You can just start on the day go and see if it works, see if it doesn't work, and you will be paid for that only. And also um, to make a system so complex, you have to manage all that employees also. For example, you wouldn't have to, if you go through AWS, you don't have to get a team of network engineers and set up all the infrastructure and also have a SRE for managing all the services. You can just go and focus on your core product. The main thing is you can just focus on your core product. Okay, am I audible, right? Like clearly, there's no issue.
Yeah, Harish. Yeah, clear. Very clear.
So, like the second benefit is pay as you go, pay only for what you use. So, if you only use like one CPU, one GPU, and like 4 GB of RAM, you can only pay for that only. And if you are using 100 CPUs, 100 GPUs, then you can pay for that only. So, it works. It is elastic in its capacity also. So, like you can scale up and down, you can scale horizontally or vertically also. Improves time to market. So for example, as a startup, you want to focus on your core product and you want to get it quickly as possible. So you don't have to focus on that building the infrastructure, maintaining the infrastructure, getting it up to speed. You just focus on your product and everything else will be done by AWS. It's all managed and all the services are very efficient in its use. There are no downtimes or any issues regarding to that. If you do it yourself, then there will be many issues that you will have to handle without any benefit to your core product. So like it will really save you that much. So you can understand like it's a huge win-win for everybody, for AWS also as a company and for you as a client. So as you can see, elastic and pay-per-use infrastructure. So as you can see, the all the points that I've described you, it's presented here graphically. You can see large capital expenditure. So you also, because of this, you are getting late. Your product is getting late to market. You lose the opportunity cost that the product would have been in the market, tried and tested, or you would have focused more on the errors and um, uh, problems arising out of your core basis product rather than improving your infrastructure, which is not that visible to your customer. Also, for example, even if you set up your infrastructure, if something goes like some social media star has just put it on post, your website goes very high, then you are also unable to serve customer because for traditional hardware you have to go and buy, build the infrastructure, maintain it, connect it. So it won't be possible in matter of seconds, hours. It won't be possible. It might take days and months. So but AWS also on click of button, you just serve all the computing power that you need, even if you are serving capacity for 1,000 times what you are serving earlier. So as you can see, it's a very beneficial. Also, it's on demand. So what I just made you understand. For example, here it is shown as a graphically. So on weekends we don't need that much computing power. So for like on weekends we just dropped the computing power and didn't pay for it. And on weekdays we just again improved it. Also on night we scheduled it to go low, so it just went low. So we are not paying for that also. So it is like very good for clients also, and also you don't have to manage that all servers also. So scalability also. For example, um, it's a video game. So video game that you just launched and it's having like huge customer support. You can just scale it vertically, and there won't be an issue. Like it's here it's saying like 5,000 instances in 3 days. So it's like a huge number that it's not really possible in traditional infrastructure. Even if you want, it's really difficult. And by the time I think you will lose all the popularity and the opportunity cost will be lost. So there is innovation also. For example, what I've told you that all the backend infrastructure, all the heavy lifting, all the networking, that which is the like nitty gritty and very difficult thing for managing, apart from managing the core product. So that is the 70% of the task for a company that is based on traditional, and only 30% of the effort is being went into a core product. So that 70% headache is now being managed by AWS and all cloud services like GCP or Microsoft Azure. So we are just, what is the main goal? The main goal is like flip this equation. So AWS cloud-based infrastructure is more time to focus on your business and configuring your cloud asset. So it just flips the equation, and it's a huge win-win. Not in the direct capital expenditure that you would concur to manage all the infrastructure, by like second-hand benefits also, like managing your employees to focus only on core product building, business agility, and innovation. So so for example, it's just an example of a company that you can just scale whenever it's do you want. For example, Amazon S3 growth. So for example, it's a product of AWS services. So you can see a specific popularity of a product, not just AWS as a whole, like particular popularity of products. So as you can see, like people are finding it useful. That's why on every year on year you can see like it's doubling its capacity. So it is really great, and all the like all the major so AWS is the first cloud company, major cloud company that it serves. So yeah, it is like all the major clients in itself. Most famously Netflix, as you know, it serves on AWS, and all the videos and all you can see are just purely based on AWS. So these are more companies: Red Hat, Microsoft, Oracle, Sun Microsystem, Wipro. All these are based out of this only. So so first reason, see this cloud, all the AWS servers are located everywhere on all over the world. Why? Because for example, if like some cyclone like India, if Biparjoy is coming, so US server can handle all the traffic if something goes wrong. So that's why these regions are made. So as you can see, like US East 1, US West 1, whereas you will be working on AWS services, you will know the importance of this regions, and you will select according to the services that you want and area you are working. Also, like so, you can see the pace of innovation AWS as a cloud service. So, as a starting, there was only Amazon SQS, Mechanical Turk, but as it went on, EC2 S3 was added, which is like the most famous feature of a cloud computing. As the time went on, more security features, more features like CloudFront that enables Netflix-like services to work so seamlessly across the planet. So as you can see, like how many and now there are so many services that you can't even count. Like it's really difficult to even comprehend, because Every day, 1 or 2 new services is coming. Every week, every day. So you can understand the popularity. So building blocks. The most important building block of AWS Cloud Services. So if you are trying to like start your application to work on AWS Cloud, you will first need computing power, and computing power is provided by Amazon EC2 instances. So EC2 is like you can say mini CPU. So like it can be like a big CPU, it can be like a micro CPU, one CPU, vCPUs. They are like virtual CPUs. The CPUs is divided into vCPUs, and how many vCPUs you can cut? There is no limit. You can do whatever you can have, how much amount of RAM you want. There is internal storage capacity also. So this is the main building block where your application will be. So as you can see, also like EC2, you can be based on Windows also, Linux also, FreeBSD, any OS you want, it can be done. Also, you can like put them across availability zone regions as you need. If you are working from India, you can just put the availability zone to India, Hyderabad. So also you can check the cost and do it according to that also. There are various types of EC2 instances also, demand, reserved, spot pricing. So as you will learn more into it, you will get all the differences between this. So second thing is storage. We need storage for our application also, right? So they're like S3 and EBS. So first EBS, Elastic Block Storage. So it's like a hard drive only, like that you are using on your physical CPU that you are using right now. So it's like that only virtual. So you can just put any row like unformatted block storage data on this, like any sort of data, any unformatted data, it takes it on. But S3 is object oriented. So like if you want specific files, your specific code base, specific like little files that you want, and also they need to be quickly accessed and directly without any delay. That's why we use S3, and it's one of the most popular services of AWS Cloud. Everyone is with me, right? There's no voice issue.
No.
Yeah. Okay. The third building block is network. So in network, there is Amazon VPC. VPC is virtual private network. There is Elastic Load Balancer. Then there is Amazon Node 53. So what this means? So first is the VPC. It's like virtual private network is like your is like you can define it by local LAN connection LAN. So for example, if you want your application to hold your whole database behind your application to not be visible to outside influencers, then you can just put your data which you want not visible. So you can just make a like for your security, you can make a VPC, virtual private network, around your data, and only in that virtual private network your data will be accessible. It will not be accessible to outside. We have to make specific transit gateways or bastion host to like get it done. So it's like a security feature. You can understand like that. You can make all your application on one VPC, and then if you have another application, you can make on another VPC, your database on another VPC, and just configure it according to what you need. Elastic Load Balancer is like so. For example, if you have 10 EC2 instances and you want every EC2 instance to have equal capacity, equal request to be received from the client side. So not one EC2 instance or computing power can be like your application performance should not downgrade because of that. It should be equally divided across all the computing power that you have. So that's what the main use of load balancer. Amazon Route 53 is your like GoDaddy. So like it's an internal services. So for like DNS service you can get. So fourth building block that is very necessary is database. So all your database that clients are fetching, you can SQL or NoSQL, both are supported in Amazon. So there's like Amazon RDS relation database system, relational database services. So it's managed by Amazon only, and it's very quick and very scalable. Like Most of the users just opt for Amazon IDs and they don't go for their own database system. Also, Amazon has SimpleDB also. That is NoSQL. So like both are available. SQL, NoSQL. After that, so like this is the main infrastructure building block. Then there's also platform. So like IaaS, PaaS, you have heard about, right? So IaaS is what I have explained to you right now. So on top of that, we also want platforms like messaging services. We want email. We want content delivery. Also, we want payments. Also, so all these services are provided by AWS. One of the most used is Amazon SES. So, for example, if your application is occurring some errors, you can just make ACS in configure with your application. It will send out errors. Also, your if you are sending automatic emails to our client, also it can be done by ACS. Can receive it. Same thing by messaging also. Simple as Amazon SNS is a simple notification service, and SQS is that SQS that you have heard of. Also, content delivery. So this is the very main service also. Content delivery is used by services like Netflix. So, for example, if you are someone in Europe is trying to access the video in a millisecond, you get all the video. So how do you get it? So all this is served by content delivery locations. So CDN, content delivery network. So this is also a service provided by AWS. More on it, I will explain you later. On top of that, so we also monitor. We want to monitor our application. We want to have deployments done on our application. So like we want to improve our application. We want to like send more updates to our application. So how should we do it seamlessly? So there's also services like AWS Elastic Beanstalk, CloudFormation. So we can do it also. And also all these services, if you don't want to manage, we can use Elastic Beanstalk also. It's like it manages it for all for you. You can also have employees do it for you if you want it more customized. There's monitoring also, Amazon Cloud. So like it is a whole one in one, all in one solution. What you can say. So this is your application. It would look like if you can imagine right now. So I explained the application. So Elastic Beanstalk, I've just explained you that you can just it will manage all your services. It will provision the resources. It will create runtime. It will launch the app, provide monitoring, scaling. It will do everything. You don't need a specific AWS expert in the starting. You can just go about with it, and you don't need like AWS architect for in the starting. As your application becomes complex, you may need it. So like a layman can also use it for starter or layman developer. So this is also example. So reinvent the wheel campaign. So as you can see, the it was a campaign that was run. So how so for example, if you want to run a campaign, how do you want it to be really scalable and you don't want any lags, and you have all the you have to stream videos, and also you will use services like Amazon CloudFront S3. So it is a like example of a usage of the application. So there's also another application, NASA mission data processing. So as you know, mission Mars rover sends huge amount of data. So for solving all that data, we have parallel processing in AWS also. So what data that would have been took 90 minutes, by use of parallel processing, it cut down to 15 minutes. Also, there's like you can increase your capacity as more data comes in. So also complex missions like this are using, and like basic startup people are using. So like on whole spectrum, everyone has used for it, case users. So yeah, this also just a graphical representation of NASA mission data processing. So pre-cloud, all the time was went into processing, but not much into planning. After cloud, process is less and planning is more. So you can understand that use benefit. So common user cases, I've just shown you. Half of them are shown, and other are like website hosting, Amazon Route 53 that I've just shown you. Also, application hosting, mobile and social applications, internal IT applications, content delivery that Netflix uses, high performance computing, parallel computing, storage, backup, data, disaster recovery, development, test environments. Everyone is using it. So you can see it provides a whole spectrum of solutions for like everybody, even for a startup to highly advanced missions like data, uh, like Mars rover mission. So you can understand its uses. So like anybody has any questions till now? Like if someone has questions, then you can just ask me in between. Nobody? Shall I go ahead?
Yeah, Harish. We'll keep the questions to the end.
Mhm. So AWS has security features also, as you can see, HIPAA white paper. All these are included into their certification. So it's all certified. It's completely safe to use, and there are services for like SSH keys for EC2 access, IAM roles. So like multi-factor authentication. It's really a safe cloud service. There's also cost you can predict. You have services like AWS calculator. You can go and figure out the cost. So like this is it. If anybody has any questions, then they can just ask me. Hello.
Yeah, Harish, can you help people understand a little bit about the DevOps and site reliability role, which
Okay.
is like very much in demand these days, right? So it
Mm-hmm.
will be helpful if you can just give an overview of these new roles which is in
Mm-hmm.
demand.
So, people has real confusion between SRE and DevOps. So, like as a company, like InfraStack-Labs also, we have SRE. So, like what SRE does is, for example, this that I just explained that you need to increase your EC2 instances, and you are seeing a big spike in client request. So, who do you call? Like, who do you have? You have SRE people that increase the server capacity. If they will also monitor the dashboards and monitor all the aspects to see if more requests are coming, and if any services is facing any malfunctions, or if anything is going down, or some computing power is being less utilized or overutilized. That is all being managed by site reliability engineer. That is the full form of SRE engineer. Like that is the most layman's explanation that I can suggest you about SRE.
So ultimately, site reliability engineering, as the name suggests, this particular team is responsible to keep up a very good uptime and make the site more reliable, be it any platform or a product or whatever is built on the AWS services. As SRE engineer and an SRE team's main goal or a target is to achieve the maximum uptime, and this team involves themselves in various activities which helps the site to be more and more reliable. That means literally they are responsible for the uptime of the product or platform which is built on the cloud, and whatever needs to be done, be it preparing standard operating procedures, how to start stop the services, how to scale, or how to look at the costing of the cloud, how to do a costing or cost optimization. So it is a continuous work wherein the site reliability engineers are involved in helping the platform to be more and more reliable. So ultimate aim is that. Meanwhile, DevOps engineers are more. It is more a role where most of the activity is focused on automating things and speeding up the process delivery process, and all those things. So wherever the automation is there, generally DevOps comes into picture, and wherever the site reliability issues are there, site reliability engineers are involved. So this is like a major uh, difference between these two roles. Anybody has any other questions? For Hadish?
I guess no one have any questions.
Nobody has any question?
So like, can you like give feedback if you need a more in-depth approach to presentation, like in-depth into AWS services? Like, was this okay for you? You need more depth.
Yeah, based on the feedback, we will try to improve more and more.
Mm.
So, if you are looking for any other information, additional information, you can let us know. That will help us also.
Yeah, everyone can start giving the fields in the chat itself.
Yeah, guys, please start asking questions. Only if you ask questions, you will start learning things. This is a very common issue which is always noticed. People don't ask questions, thinking that if what if my question is like very bad. There is nothing like bad questions. You can have many of you are starting your careers. You might have questions regarding that because you most of you will be starting in this cloud computing area only. Most of you. Maybe you can ask other questions also, which is not related to this specific topic. Be it career-wise, how to go, or anything else. Anything you feel, you can always ask.
Hello.
Yeah, Suma, go ahead.
Sir, why you use only AWS only? Because Java is more than.
Now, can you repeat your question once again?
Sir, why you use more AWS only?
It is
Because
it
in
is
marketing,
yeah.
more any other languages also there. Na? Why you choose only AWS?
See, it is not about programming language. AWS is a platform. Is a cloud platform. Okay. So what you are
Yes,
talking about is the programming languages, right? So this is nothing to do
sir.
with programming languages. It is a platform which will give you infrastructure as a service. Like for example, where do you usually program in your laptop or
Hello.
in your desktop? Can you hear me?
A laptop, sir.
Laptop, right? So what
Yes,
if
sir.
a company needs to do a programming? You as an individual will do programming in your laptop and you can run it, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What if you want to write a program and the whole world wants to run it? What will you do?
Okay.
You have to host it in a common location, some server, right?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yeah.
Got it. Like for example,
Yes, sir.
even
Got.
in any mobile application which you see is programmed
Mm.
in one some programmers laptop ultimately,
Yes, sir.
But if the program runs within his laptop, nobody is going to use it. I'm
Yeah.
keeping it very simple to understand. Okay. So if
Okay.
the whole world wants to run your program, okay, if the
Okay, sir.
whole world wants to run your application which you build, you have to put it in a common location where everybody can access.
Yes.
Right? The whole world should be accessible. Right? That is the ultimate aim, right, for companies.
Yes, sir.
So these companies, what they do is they build the product, the applications, and they host it in platforms like Amazon Web Services or Google Cloud Platform or Microsoft Azure or DigitalOcean. There are multiple vendors who give you a cloud platform, okay, and provide
Yes.
infrastructure as a service. So what, as a company, you just need to consume those cloud resources and build your product or portfolio, whatever, right? And reach out to many people across the globe so that everybody can access from their own location.
Okay, sir. Thank
Hope that is answered.
you. Yes, sir.
You can run any program. If you're
Yes.
specifically talking about Java, yes, you can have a Java program running in a Tomcat server, in a EC2 instance, or in a Kubernetes cluster, which is given by AWS.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
yeah, thank you. Anybody else has questions? Please don't think that if I ask question, it will be very simple. People will laugh at me and all. It and all is you have to shed all those things. Even if it is a very basic question, yes, you should ask.
Good evening, all.
Yeah, yeah. It is.
Uh, it's a provide AWS provide pay as you go on method for payment. So if we use the services for 1 year without any payment, and at the end of the year, if it is a big amount, if at the time if we don't have much money to pay, what would be the consequences?
Like, see, there are different models wherein costing models, pricing models, which these cloud platforms introduce. Okay. So generally, what happens is if it is a small free tier and all, which generally people start doing, right? When people want to start doing something on AWS, first they will use this free tier, which of course comes with a limitation. Okay. Beyond which, what will happen is we'll have to uh, either commit for a long term commitment or we have to go by pay as you go model. Okay, like you pay monthly bills and you consume the resources, you spin up provision any cloud resources based on your usage, you are going to pay monthly. And if you are doing a long term commitment, your pricings will be becoming less. And there also you have options of partial payment and partial upfront payments. So many pricing models are there. Okay. So definitely when you start with the free tier, you are not going to get unlimited access to AWS resources. There will be a limitation. Beyond which, yes, obviously everybody has to uh, start paying. Hope that is answered.
Uh, Yeah, but it's not clear for me actually. So my
Mhm.
question was, if we have a huge bill for monthly or something for a $1,000 bill,
Mhm.
$1,000 bill, but I think I cannot pay that. So what will be how they collect money from me by any legal consequences are there or something?
See, as a big company, they will reach out to you through many channels. Okay. If a customer has a very huge bill and he is not able to pay, yes, they will reach out to you and Maybe we have not gone to that extent where we see any legal tangles between a customer and AWS. Yes, if you have heard, I don't know, recently there is a news wherein Twitter is refusing to pay Google Cloud its bill. Anybody read that? Did
Yeah, I have.
anybody read this news? I think just last week. So Twitter is refusing to pay the bill of Google Cloud. That's when I also understood that Twitter is using Google Cloud. Did anybody read this news?
No, sir.
Yeah, yeah, that is a big news actually. Okay, so in that case, what happens? Yes, we have to wait and watch because definitely their bill will not be a very small bill of $1,000 or anything. Their bills will be running in millions. So now, what Google Cloud will be doing, we have to wait and see. So they will have all mechanisms to reach out and make you pay. Beyond which, yes, we also don't know because we generally pay the bills, right? So what happens if you don't pay? And anyways, with the free tier and all, definitely you are not going to generate a huge bill. Only if it is real usage, you will pay. And before payment, you have to give your payment information and all those things. So yes, you can expect legal consequences also
Yeah,
in
Anuj, like
case.
you should have registered with your like a card, it will ask for a card, right? During the registration.
Yeah, that is the payment information, right?
Yeah, like so they will like automatically detect the amount from your card. There is a chance of that thing. And also, like mostly for students, if you are registered with students, like you can ask for a discount from AWS. Like I have heard that like the AWS is providing some discounts for students if
Yeah,
the bill
many
is highlighted.
students. Yeah, many students forget to terminate, and they get a surprise even in free time, and AWS helps them with some discounts or whatever because those bills
Yeah.
are actually smaller.
Can I tell my personal experience? I had practiced on a Freeter account and I got a bill of $300 in Freeter account, and I mailed them by requesting, can you please? I am student. Then next month they credited some
Exactly,
dollars, and
exactly. This is what I said just now. Many students forget to terminate, and they receive a bill like this. And if you reach out to them saying you're a student, maybe they will discount it off. Did you get it discounted?
yeah, they credited, actually they credited some dollars to my account. The next month it becomes zero.
Okay, okay, that's good. You didn't have to pay, right?
Okay, thank you for the answer.
Okay. Anybody else has any questions?
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
While discussing about this cloud computing, many show concerns about this data privacy and security. So, is there any problems regarding this privacy and security in cloud computing?
See, security is always a debatable topic. Okay, privacy is something it varies person to person. Okay, especially in India, we are least bothered about privacy. Uh, we whole of our life is activities are exposed in our social media. If you look at what I'm eating in the morning, what breakfast I eat, what lunch I eat, what is the dinner I'm having. So all my political inclination or my interest, my hobbies, everything, the way I what do they eat, live, everything. People are day in and day out giving it give it out in social media. So generally, what I've seen is Indians are least bothered about privacy, and we still don't have any data privacy law in the country. Hopefully, that is going to come soon. So that is one thing. But if you look at other countries like other continents like European Union or Americas or North Americas and Australia, these kind of countries, Singapore, all these countries are very particular about their citizens' data. Okay, and they have a very stringent security framework, data privacy framework defined by their lawmakers. And I don't know if you've heard of GDPR, HIPAA kind of regulations. Uh, and if any cloud vendor is found to be violating any of these data privacy laws, they have to pay hefty fine. That runs out to like millions of dollars, billions of dollars. Okay, so every now and then you hear news of Google Cloud paying millions of dollars to the European Union, AWS paying fine. So as see, it is very simple. Okay, you have a system, and if you're connected to the network internet, you are prone to attacks. Okay, it is as simple as that. You have a machine, simple machine, be it a laptop or desktop. If it is connected to internet, you are prone to hacking. Okay, and you are prone to data stealing or whatever, which follows hacking. Okay, so that is the simplest way to tell that there is no system in this world which is hack proof. If somebody says I have built the system which is hack proof, actually it is a lie. So what usually companies do is when it comes to security, what enterprises do is they build lot of fences. Okay, a lot of systems like you have systems like firewall, you have systems like intrusion detection systems, intrusion prevention systems, and what else? Systems that can mitigate DDoS attacks. So many layers of security layers will be laid out. So in case there is anybody who's trying to attack or steal your data, definitely he's going to be a smart guy, right? So when we say smart guy, he would be good at networks, he would be good at systems, he would be good at operating systems. So only a person like that can actually penetrate through all these security layers. And day in and day out, all these security systems are prone to such attacks. But only thing what happens is, unlike what you see in these films, in Indian films and all, right, where all the Hollywood films where a hacker sits and green screen, I mean, a screen will be there, and within minutes he will crack the password. In real world, no such thing happens actually. Okay, so if a hacker wants to attack, okay, launch an attack on a particular system or a target system, definitely he takes his own time breaking one system after another to reach his target system. So enterprises intelligently have all these layers of security, and by the time the hacker or the person, dubious person who wants to launch attack breaks one layer, immediately he is caught because it takes time. Okay, so enterprises generally have all these security layers, and based on the security and the maturity level of all these security layers, uh, there are certifications acquired by these AWS vendors. Okay, sorry, not AWS, cloud vendors like AWS and Google Cloud. Okay, but still you keep hearing problems of DDoS attacks and all those things. which is inevitable. Because if AWS gives you a platform to launch a EC2 instance, and you launch an EC2 instance as a end customer, and if you keep all your ports open for all the whole world, definitely your EC2 instance is going to be attacked. Okay, now from your EC2 instance, how he is going to reach to nearby systems, that matters. That depends. Okay. Again, there are many layers of security. So it is not an easy thing, but yes, security is a concern when it comes to cloud. That is the first, probably the first question anybody who wants to be in cloud will have. And data privacy, as I said, it is a framework wherein these government or lawmakers should have that those kind of regulations should be there. So based on which these vendors also should be compliant. Okay. So security and privacy, data privacy, all are a concern always. But this is how our current cloud hyperscalers work with the customers. Yeah, this is a long answer for your short question. But
Yeah, it's okay. Thank you, sir.
as I said in the beginning, it's a debatable topic. So we can keep talking on security and data privacy things. But definitely Indians are least bothered about data privacy. We have another 5 minutes. If anybody wants to shoot out another question. Okay, no more question. I think then we can wrap up this webinar. Sanjay, do you want to start?
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Harish and Al sir, for this wonderful webinar. Before that, I have two videos to share. I will share it to you right now. Uh, sir, can you share the video? As I have some issues in sharing it. Sir,
Yeah, 1 second. Hope you guys can see the screen, right? You see.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So guys, which the video was about, we have an internship program, which is about 45 days, which we will be mainly focusing on DevOps, cloud computing, and SRE. So if anyone is interested in these three subjects, and Industry 3.0, so if you guys are interested in learning and understanding about DevOps or cloud computing, you guys can reach out to us. Actually, I'm sharing our email ID in the chat. Any questions? It's a 45 days of internship program. So guys,
So here, most of them are already undergoing. So if anybody is interested for next batch, you can refer your friends for this. Yeah.
I guess that's it. It's time for wind up. And thank you all. Thank you for joining our webinar. And in the upcoming webinars, you will be notified to our through your mail and through our social media accounts. Thank you all.
Thank you, Harish and Sanjay for organizing this webinar. Hope we organize such more webinars in coming days. Thank you very
Thank
much. Thank you all for joining. Have a great day.